This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions in this video and comments on this podcast do not reflect or represent the views and opinions on this podcast platform.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. If you didn't know, it is Aries season until April 20th, and then it begins Taurus season. So happy birthday and happy belated birthday to all you Rams. Enjoy it while it lasts. All right, tonight's topic: fair weather friends. And just so you know what we are referring to, we're going to get the Webster's Dictionary version of it. Well, Tanya has
I don't have the Webster's Dictionary.
But she has a definition. She has a definition. So we're going to get a definition for it. Tanya, you want to share
It's the AI definition. The AI definition and the Cambridge definition is the Cambridge Dictionary definition is pretty much the same. And a fair weather friend is someone who is only friendly and supportive when things are going well, but who disappears or becomes unreliable when you face challenges or difficulties. Essentially, their friendship is conditional on current circumstances.
That's it?
That's it.
That's good. Everybody got it?
Right.
I think that is right to the point. So if you guys think it's anything different, speak now or hold your peace. All right, that's what we're going with. All right, we're going to jump right into these questions. I think we got about 15 of them. Let's see how many we can get through. Let's try to keep your answers beneath 2 minutes, 2 minutes or less. And again, please allow people to finish answering the question. Do not present any additional questions in the midst of them answering the initial question. And if you have any rebuttal or any refute, wait until they are finished answering the question and then you may do so. Or if you can't wait, put it in the chat. All right. Let's get started. Question number one. All right. Number one. Do you and your friends borrow and loan money with one another? And if so, would a delinquent payment end the friendship? So simply put, do you allow your friends to borrow money? And if they fail to pay it back, does that signal the end of the friendship? Ladies first. All right. Ladies, turn your mic on. Each one turn your mic on. Tanya, turn your mic on. Patsy, turn your mic on. All right. Let's go. Each one, you're up first.
That it doesn't ruin a relationship with me and my friend. It just that I give them another chance. I want to say I give them 2 chances to borrow from me, and then if they don't give it back, I let them know. I be like, you could have at least asked me for it instead of asking to borrow it. You know what I mean? And then now you just cut your, everything with me, because now you can't borrow $1, not even $1 from me. So the money shouldn't. For me, money doesn't come in between me and people. Period. Like that's just. I don't value money over people.
Sean Edwards has joined the meeting.
All right. We are going to go to Patsy next.
Yeah, Lion, I don't really have friends that actually borrow money. I actually had one person a while ago, that did that, like, but she said, like, looky, I'll pay you in implements, because she had needed to get some clothes for her job and stuff, because she was out of work for a little while. And then, as she went along, she paid me back, because of the amount of money. But we established that in the beginning when we did that little thing. But outside of that, I don't have nobody really to borrow that borrows money, and I make it a habit of not borrowing money from other people. But yeah, so there's really not an issue with money and friendship.
Sounds like a great policy. Tanya?
I agree with Patsy and Itima. I don't put money over people. And at the same time, I don't borrow so people don't feel as if they can I just don't loan money. If you really, really need it for a friend, yes, I will loan it to you. Heck, if I got it like that, I would give it to you. Just because when you put money into relationships or friendships, not even just with a friend, but even with family, it can become a problem, an issue. I give you an opportunity to pay me back. If you don't pay me back, I know I just got to move with you and at a different frequency.
All right, gentlemen, turn your mic on. Sean, Gregory, and Robert. First question, gentlemen. Do you and your friends borrow and loan one another money? And if so, would a delinquent payment end the friendship? We're going to go to Gregory first.
I think it's circumstantial. Like if you really need to borrow money from your peoples, and you should be able to ask a real friend for some money to borrow, or you should be able to lend some money to a friend if they really need it. But that doesn't mean you let your friend step on you. So if they say they want to borrow the money and they don't pay you back, it's no other time. Fool me once, can't get fooled again. There you go again. That stupid saying.
It's not stupid if everybody remembers it. Uh, let's go to Robert next.
I try to stay away from letting family borrow money if I could. If they really need it, I will let them borrow. But my expectations in them paying me back is not high. I set myself, you know, like a preparation to be ready for the worst case scenario. They think I have it like that, or they just feel they shouldn't have to pay it back because we're family. With my friends, I really can't say my friends came and borrowed money from me. And I don't have a lot of friends that I can say that will actually come and ask to borrow money from me. But I do have one friend that I can call and ask to borrow money. And I don't call every week, every day, but when I do call my friend, I know they will let me borrow money. And if it was to the point that they really think I was struggling, they'd probably say, go on and keep that. But I'm not taking advantage of the situation. I know that's my only one friend that I can go to in time of need for something like that. I don't look towards other people.
Okay. We're going to go to Sean next and then Bird. Sean, same question. Do you and your friends loan and borrow money from one another? And if so, with a delinquent payment in the friendship?
My circle of friends is very, very small, and we've been very fortunate in life, in our adult life, to be in a situation to where we've never had to run to each other in a time of need like that. And and the one or two occasion that it may have happened within our circle because of who they are and what they possess, we knew that giving it to them was not an issue. Getting it back is double time wasn't an issue. So I've never experienced that. And so yeah.
Back over the cameraman and went over and go.
Whoever's TV that is, could you please mute that? All right, Bert, it's on you. Do you and your friends borrow and loan money to one another? And if so, does a delinquent payment in the friendship?
I personally, I don't borrow from anybody. I don't feel like I have anybody. I don't feel like sometimes there is anybody. But I have lent money out plenty of times, many times. Um, Not just to friends. If you need help and I got it, I'll help you. A delinquent payment, I don't believe would put a strain on a relationship, but it definitely would change the dynamics of a relationship. Not so much delinquent, or maybe let's say non-payment. I mean, I'm not the person that's gonna have to. You come to me, you ask for something, and I give it to you. I don't want to call you anytime ever to say, "Yo, you got that? Yo, you got that?" Even if you ain't got that, all you got to say to me is, I ain't got that right now. Can I see you this? Can I do that? This is what's going on. This is my situation. You keep it a buck, we going to be okay. If you just try to dip and dive again, one day you may need me and I won't be there for you. So it could change the dynamics of a relationship. Money is a tough situation to deal with. And it's not really a good idea to deal with money and friends because it could definitely damage, but I have had seen some relationships with me get real funny over money. So it can it can change dynamics.
Um, I'm gonna answer this. So I don't. So all my friends, I consider them to be family. So yeah, I try not to lend money because thank you, Jesus. I've been the lender, not the borrower. And yeah, I've had some situations where people make you chase them for your money. They have no problems asking to borrow it, but then they have problems when it's time to return it. And again, I don't want to chase you. I don't want to fight you. I don't want to argue with you over my money. So I I just don't make a habit of doing it. But when it comes to my siblings, yeah, there's times where I just give it instead of loaning it. I just, if it's a bill or something, it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna give you the money to pay it. But again, I try not to make a habit to lend out money because, like Burr said, it's a very touchy situation. Like I've seen people and heard situations where people have uh, become volatile, very hostile with their family members regarding a payment, a delinquent payment. Yes.
Large amounts of money are tough to do with friends. I would like not to get involved with large amounts of money.
Mhm.
The comeback is different. I've lent money out, to people, and I charge you interest. I charge you what we call points on that dollar. You may be paying me interest every week until you can pay me back in full, and that doesn't count off the money. So I've kind of been involved in a couple of things, and again, with friends, big money could change the game. It's a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna go to the ladies, and we are going to go to question number 2. Um, Ladies, turn your mics on. Patsy, Itima, Tanya. We are going to go to Itima first. Question number 2. Are men or women more likely to plan and participate in an annual vacation with their friends? Itima?
You said men or women.
Mm-hmm. Which of the two genders are more likely to plan an annual vacation with their friends, the man or the women?
Um, I think nowadays it's the equal thing, but a woman, like women will.
That's Patsy, same question.
Um, I'm not sure because I think maybe women do because
I
I
know.
know one of
I
my
think so.
neighbors she plans vacations and a lot of times she plans with maybe one or two friends, maybe go or she'll just go on a vacation by herself, you know? So yeah.
Tanya, same question.
I'm gonna say that nowadays I think it's more equal because I know of two situations where the woman plans annual vacations with her friends, and sometimes her friends could be her family, like her sisters, so it depends on the definition of friends. And the other is that I know of men and women who are in the sports arena with their children who plan on annual like outings together, vacations together for like competitions or just taking the group out on a vacation. So I think it could be equal.
Gentlemen, turn your mics on. All right, we are going to go to Sean first. Sean, question number 2. Are men or women more likely to plan and participate in an annual vacation with their friends?
Ooh. um, sheesh. I would have to say, oh gosh, 'cause I can't speak for the ladies because me and my crew, we plan trips, and boys' trips are the boys' trip, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. But uh, from my experience, I've witnessed more of me and my fellas planning trips than any of the females that I know that are all cool with each other.
Gregory?
I'm gonna go ahead and say both because from my experience, I've been around people that like to have fun. So you'll have males planning things and you'll have females planning things. It's a whole mashup.
Robert?
I'm gonna say It can be both, but females are more equipped. They take it more serious. They leave on time. When it's just the ladies, they make sure every day's prompt. But when there's men involved, there's a lot of dragging. So that's all I'm gonna say about it.
Bert.
I think the women, the women are more popular for planning girl trips. They've been doing it forever, long before us. They've been going on girls trips with us, Um, we just ain't organized enough, or maybe I just don't have friends because I ain't never been on like I might have been on some road trips, like local shit, but nothing like scheduled field trip. That didn't come till late in the game for me. Trying to raise kids and none of that stuff was really in my on my menu. Now that I'm older and no kids and a lot of money to play with, ain't no team to go on no trip with. So I go solo on the dolo and go field tripping.
Uh, so I'm going to say that the Still a Man crew has a trip, an annual camping trip every year. And all the guys on the panel, you're invited when we do the all men's trip. Uh, what I've noticed is I've seen my sisters and other women around me when it comes time to plan an annual trip that consists of just the ladies, yeah, they're all in and they do it big. But when the guys attempt to come together, this is when we encounter the fair weather friend factor because there have been some individuals that planned to go on the trip with us and they backed out on the last minute. At the last minute, they paid their money, but they expected to get their money back. But they canceled like 2 days before the trip. And then we had other individuals that were last minute attachments and they end up showing up on the trip on the day of. And these individuals just was a total disruption throughout the proceedings. I mean, they didn't have the required funds. They didn't have the camping gear. Then when they was allowed to use the extra camping gear that we always have, they just didn't treat it well. There was damage done to brand new grills. Uh, and I think one somebody almost got in a fight. It was bad.
Sounds like the camping trip from hell.
And the fight
Timmy has joined the meeting.
and the fight started, before we even left to go on the trip. Like two of the individuals were about to feud, and I think this was due to some deeply seated issues that they had from our childhood, and they just came to head. So, needless to say, said individual hasn't been on any other trips with us since that. And I don't think that people are too eager to reach out to this individual. Oh, and then I failed to mention this individual almost got shot on the trip for stealing wood. So yeah, this was a
That's
very
a bad
it was
mother
it was it was it was a very, 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 very bad situation. Because, like I said, this individual was very disruptive. So I got to give it to the ladies in that situation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to question number 3. Ladies, turn your mics on, please. We got Itzima, we got Tanya, we got Patsy. All right, Itzima, we're going to go to you first. Here is the third question. Would you allow your friend to move in with you if they were suddenly displaced due to a natural disaster or domestic dispute? So if they lost their lodging due to a fire, tornado, or whatever, or a fight with their mate, would you allow them to move in with you?
Overnight to go to a shelter the next day.
That's a very short stay. Ooh, that's your final answer.
Yes, and I only say that because, you know what I'm saying, like, it's good to be, to service your people, but sometimes they go overboard. And I want to say, I'm saying it by experience. I housed a few of my people's, like, family members. And at the end, was like, I was basically asked out. How about that?
All right, Patsy, you're up.
I'm the same answer for a night or two, but you got to go. You got to find another situation. You know what I'm saying? Especially after dealing with one of my exes, and living here wasn't a hot situation. It was a hot mess. You know, yeah. But no, night or two, then you just got to figure your situation out and go to shelter and do what you got to do. But ain't nobody living here with me.
Okay, Tanya, same question.
It depends on if they're a fair weather friend or not. A fair weather friend, I'll help you look for a shelter. And you can probably stay a night or two until you get into a shelter. But if you're a good friend and you've been there, you've been ride or die for me, I can try and be ride or die for you. But not for long. Because when you bring a third person into your home, they start seeing how you living. And sometimes that jealousy can kick in and they cause chaos. So on each instance, fair weather, maybe one or two, I help you find a shelter. If you're a ride or die, you can stay. But if I see any signs of bullshit, then you got to hit the brakes.
Oh, okay. Gentlemen, turn your mics on. The question is, would you allow your friends to move in with you if they suddenly became displaced due to a natural disaster or a domestic dispute? We are going to go to Gregory first.
It's definitely circumstantial depending on the person, but I can tell you this. Me helping people that actually fell onto hard times was more likely a female than a male. Just being honest.
We are going to go to Robert.
Well, now we're hitting home because it all started when there was a accident on the streets of Boston. So I try to be a true friend. Took someone into my home for safe haven, for them to have a shelter where no one was gonna be able to mess with them again. That's how I was feeling at that time. That lasted for 2 years. Fortunately, I lost my apartment helping someone else out, but it wasn't their fault that I lost it. That was due to a lady that had her own problems with me. Um, we move on to I went and relocated. We took a break for about maybe 2 years, 3 years. They needed to come stay with me again. That stay lasted for a 2 year stay. I got up and moved. They needed to move in with me again. That stay lasted for 17 years. Now, as I moved into where I'm at right now, oh, Jesus, come down and rub me clean. It feels good to really have something of your own again. The only reason why I helped that person, because he was a true friend at that time. He was cool, and he was my daughter's godfather. Now, looking back at it, in some sense, I feel I lost 22, 23 years of my life helping out a friend.
Wow.
You might want to put in a phone call or send out a SOS or a text or something, you know, check in. All right, we are going to go to Bird next.
I haven't had to open my door for anybody. I'm kind of, in the past, I have opened my door to family in the past, and it turned out all bad. Had to basically get ignorant to put them out. They just weren't living right, doing right, and you had to go. I'm sorry, my family's here. I can't help you here. As myself now, it's been about it depends on who I would open my door to. I don't think I could, but I would. I have. I don't know.
I'm
Let's go to Sean next.
Um, I've been very fortunate that, none of my friends have been in a situation to where they've needed me in that capacity. Um, and I'm gonna be very, very honest. I love all my friends, that those that I call my friends, and it's a small circle. I would do it. I wouldn't want to do it because I like my space. But I would do it. But I've been very fortunate that they have not, the of the two scenarios that you gave, they have not encountered that, and I have not been the person that they had to call if they did encounter a situation as such.
I just want to piggyback off of what Bird said about family, because there was some instances that I let a family member move in with me that came from another state because she fell on hard times and she brought her problems with her, that I had to end up calling her mother and telling her mother to send for her to send her back to where she came from.
Timmy, same question. Would you allow your friend to move in with you if they suddenly became displaced due to a natural disaster or a domestic dispute?
Uh, I would say it depends, you know, because if you open yourself and open your home to someone who who didn't appreciate it, that shouldn't reflect on somebody else who needs it, who really needs your help. So you can't base certain things off of what you've been through because that was that person. This person is totally in need, and you would want to try to help them out. Now, as far as family goes, you tolerate a lot of things because they're your blood, that you wouldn't tolerate from somebody on the outside. So I think it's a 50-50 on the fence type of thing because you love your family, but they do things to make you say, I'm never gonna do that for family again. But you can't just base off that experience with one person. And every experience with different people is a different experience. So you can't just base things off of one experience. And if you have it in your heart to want to help somebody, then their actions, as far as acting out, as you would know that is acting out if you dealt with that type of situation.
Okay, let me take a shot at this. I think that my answer would be no, because I like my space. Um, Everything has a place in my house. Um, yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it. I'm set in my ways. Uh, you know, I
It
just
ain't you, it's me. You're like breaking up with somebody, huh? It
yeah,
ain't you, it's me.
yeah. It's just something. It's something that I wouldn't choose to do. I mean, I've done it for a sibling. Um, but you know, even that still, I've spent the first part of like a large part of my life. I lived at home until I was like 20. And I shared a room with my brothers, that whole time, first with both my brothers and then with one of my brothers. And then when we went away to camp, I shared rooms with if I had to share a room with anybody, it was with my family. So I never really wanted to share my lodgings with any other man. I'm funny like that. I'm not that comfortable in those situations. I like my own. I'm a person. I don't do odors, so I'm very funny like stuff like that. I'm comfortable with my own smells and stuff like that. Nah,
You
it's
don't do
What about
odors.
female friends?
that's different. We're not talking about family friends.
So should I say you don't do odors or light whispers?
I don't do that talking to yourself stuff. So I have to give you a referral because this is not for you. My office hours are from 9 to 6. So I'm not coming home and dealing with that. Um
Oh,
so
you big red, your office hours is from 9 to 5.
exactly. And I don't want to have to hang nobody out no window or nothing because you acting crazy. Or I don't want no crazy person trying to hang me out a window. We'll be moving some
Right.
furniture up in here. Um, so we are going to move on to question number 4. Ladies, turn on your microphone. We got Itima, we got Tanya, we got Patsy. All right, Itima, you are up first. And again, happy belated birthday.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
happy belated birthday,
Thank you, guys.
Teacher
Thank you.
man.
Thank you again. Thank you again, guys. I
Happy
appreciate it.
birthday again,
And
B.
I
this
appreciate that.
and this question is going to hit home. Okay. Would you feel slighted if your friends fail to acknowledge you on your birthday? Or are you or them the type of people that oppose all holidays?
So the thing about that is this: I'm a fair person, right? So I could understand that people have lives and they, sometimes we forget about certain stuff and not that intentionally we do it. You know what I mean? But I believe that it's important that we acknowledge um the people that we love in our lives on important days. You know what I mean? Um like birthdays. That's very important.
Yes. And the second part, do you are you that person that opposes all holidays, or do you have individuals around you that claim they don't celebrate your birthday because they don't celebrate no holidays?
Yes, I do. I actually do. I My brother, he don't like he don't believe in celebrating holidays, birthdays, nothing. So he doesn't acknowledge it until probably like a few days after he'll get a gift or something and he'll be like, here you go or whatever. But he won't like the day of whatever it is, he won't acknowledge. And I mean that's gotta respect what he believes. You know what I mean?
He think it's pagan, huh?
Yeah, everything's pagan to him. He don't he yeah, he don't play like that. All that's pagan to him.
That's anger.
Okay, Patsy, same question.
Um, my siblings definitely acknowledge my birthday. I acknowledge theirs. Um, my brother really doesn't celebrate birthdays and holidays per se, but like as long as he acknowledges, like I don't care like if anybody buys me anything, but as long as you're either texting me or calling me and say happy birthday, I'm cool with that. And like my brother's kind of funny about holidays. I'm like, look, if you come by Thanksgiving and Christmas, that's cool. It ain't really about the holiday itself, but it's about family time. But my birthday, I don't care if they come by or buy me anything. Just acknowledging by saying happy birthday is fine.
Tanya, same question.
I'm fine with you can wish me a happy birthday. Just being thought of is okay with me. You don't have to get me a gift. I'm just happy to live another year to see my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have people around me who don't celebrate holidays or birthdays. Um, my husband used to be like that, want to be left alone on his birthday, but then after his birthday, he would say, nobody called to wish me a happy birthday. You have to get out of that.
Okay, gentlemen, turn your microphones on. All right, we got Timmy, we got Sean, we got Gregory, we got Bird, we got Robin. Timmy, you're up first. Would you feel slighted if your friends fail to acknowledge you on your birthday? And are you or any of your friends the type of person that opposes all holidays?
Now, I would be offended, like Patsy said, if my sibling didn't call me or text me say happy birthday. I feel that is the most, that there means more than, friends, friends and all that. That comes in to play, but your siblings and your moms and them are supposed to acknowledge your birthday. And just like now for other relatives and friends and stuff like Ethan was saying, yeah, you might have your own thing going on, other things running through your mind, so you forget. So I would, be, more of understanding to friends and cousins and them and uncles and them, but far as siblings, yeah, those are the ones that really supposed to acknowledge and show you that love. Now, uh, I'm not no person that looks for anything. I'm cool with you acknowledging. I don't need much. If I want something, I can do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So all I need is the acknowledgement. Acknowledge that day, my day, and it's cool with me. You don't have to do anything as long as you acknowledge it. If you do something, it's a bonus, you know. But yeah, I prefer the acknowledgement moreover than anything else.
Sean, same question.
Um, yeah, for the past 20 plus years, I've been fussed at because I've never made a fuss about my own personal birthday. Um, and I've had some what we would call significant birthdays, your 21s, your 25, 30s, 40s, 50s, all that. Um, I'm just not big on celebrations like that for myself. Now, if you acknowledge me, I appreciate it. I thank you, this, and the other, but I feel no kind of way if someone was to miss my birthday or was a day or 2 or 3 days late because I don't make a big stink about it. So I don't expect anybody else to. But yeah, I was over here laughing because I get fussed out by my family every single year because they ask me the same, what I consider is the stupid question. What do you want for your birthday? What do you want to do for your birthday? Leave me alone and I'm good.
And Sean, they only asking that because they know that you're not making a big fuss. So they saying to themselves, well, he ain't making a big fuss. Let's make a big fuss for him.
And they try it and and I have a model, my family and friends know this. Do not try to surprise me because you'll mess around being surprised, trying to surprise me.
Yeah, you won't show up.
That's
I'll,
so.
I'll show up.
No,
I just
no,
won't have.
Patsy.
I
No,
won't
no,
have
no,
that.
Patsy.
I won't have the.
That's when the thing comes out.
I'm just not. I'm just not an emotional guy. I'm just not that guy. I don't. You know.
They
I'm
yell
grateful.
surprise. He go bow bow. Then nobody knows what happened. It ain't gonna be a happy birthday no more.
He
Either
won't
that
have
or
that
show
Nope.
up to the
enthusiasm.
Nope. I don't. I really don't. And I don't know why that is, but that's just how I'm like that with every holiday, not just my birthday.
Uh-huh.
We
Gregory?
have to go back. We'll go back into your childhood and figure out how this is that it is. But You know why, and you know why, but you ain't
Well,
there
I
yet. You ain't ready
no,
for it.
only if you don't mind, Dave, I can respond to that.
Yeah.
For Christmas, now I love it because I have kids and I make sure I do what I'm supposed to do for them, this, that, and the other. But I was a product of Metco and getting up every day at 4:30, 5 o'clock for school.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents was into Christmas more than than myself and my brother. And for them to come in our room on Christmas at 6:30 to wake us up for Christmas, we hated it because we looked at it as it's a Saturday.
It's a
Why
sleep
can't
in
we
day.
sleep in?
Hmm.
And so that's how I've been all for ever since. So that's the answer to that for you, Bird. That I can speak to Christmas. Now, any other holiday, those are just holidays. But Christmas, that is my reason for why I'm not a big Christmas person. As far as I get excited and stuff like that. I do for the kids, but as far as myself, I'm just like, eh, it is what it is.
Like, yeah, it's like whatever.
It's just another day.
Okay.
Exactly.
We are
Treat
going.
yourself, King.
We are going to go to Gregory.
Um, I don't know too many Jehovah's Witnesses, but I believe we did have some in the family at a point in time. I don't know what happened to those people, but everybody's not the same. Everybody's not gonna remember everybody's birthday. Like me, for instance, I got a big family, and all of our birthdays be coming consecutively. So for a friend, like all of our birthdays comes consecutively, except for in January and February, I believe. So if I have a friend with a birthday in January or February, I'm most likely gonna remember your birthday because it's nothing in the way of me remembering your birthday. You get what I'm saying? Because we celebrate, and for for me, for my birthday, I like to at least give you a warning, a heads up that my birthday's coming up. I'm probably gonna, because I'm gonna celebrate for myself anyways before anybody else tries to put something together for me. So I'm gonna let you know I'm gonna be doing something, and if you want to come, you can come. And I would expect the same thing from one of my friends. You get what I'm saying? Especially if you want me to participate in your birthday.
Bird.
I'd like to throw a big shout out to Mr. Tiny Timothy. I could probably go 10 years or more back that Timmy has been probably the most only consistent person that usually will call me on my birthday, even if I don't answer, I'm on vacation, I'm anywhere. And I want you to know, Timmy, that means so much to me, my brother.
You
Because
my
it's very
brother. I told you, you my brother. I meant that
people
shit.
acknowledge me. Birthdays aren't really a big deal for me, and when I say that to you, um, Sean, I say that with I don't know what it's called, conviction or what, but birthdays have never been really celebratory in my life as a child. I don't necessarily even can go back and remember if I ever even had a birthday party or a surprise party or anything like that. So I never really make a big deal over the years, but I think now the past 3 years I've been doing more celebratory stuff for me, taking me out, doing for
Good.
me, going on vacation,
Mm-hmm.
kind of just letting loose and getting out that nasty, I don't know what I want to call it, where I shouldn't be acknowledging myself on my birthday because no one else is. Um,
Right.
Understood.
that's just where I'm at. And I'm not a big celebratory person anymore, but I'm looking to do more for me on my birthdays now.
That's
Oh
what's
yeah,
up.
I'm the same way too, Bird.
Okay.
I reckon go get your toe pedicures and manicures. That is refreshing.
Well, Timmy told me, Patsy, he's coming over on your next birthday.
good, good try catching up to me.
Well, Robert.
Well, I don't want to give you a long story, but here it goes.
Mm.
Birthdays for me, when I was a teenager, I was looking towards them. I had anxiety, couldn't wait. But until one day the unimagined happened. I had a surprise birthday party. Never thought I would ever had a chance to experience something like that. And I was truly surprised because my heart was on going to I think the Omni Theater and going out to eat after that. But what happened was they lied to me and told me the theater was closed. There was too much people there. There was no parking for us. We'll try another day. Why don't we just go get something to eat? And I was like, nah, I don't want nothing to eat and all of that. That's why I don't really look, towards birthdays, surprises or nothing. And it was like, we'll just go and we'll have a smoke over your cousin's house. And when we pulled up, I said, you go on, have your smoke. I'll sit in the car and wait. She said, you would do that to your cousin? I said, yeah, because my birthday, I really don't really care to make a big deal out of it. I'll just, do me. So she got me out the car. I got to the door. The lights was on. I said, this is some bullshit here. I said, I could have stayed home for all of this. Next thing you know, everybody, surprise, surprise. And it truly made me cry because I was truly surprised. That was the only time I really can say I'll be looking towards another birthday like that. But after that, I had a child. Birthdays didn't matter to me anymore. It was all for my child. I was looking towards his birthdays. To end this, I will say this. Anything my siblings and friends do is extra. If you call, give gifts, anything. I don't look towards those calls or those gifts. I appreciate them, but I'm going to be just fine. And if you want me to do so much on my day, I might not want to do what you want me to do. I might want to sit in, grill some steak, keep my slippers on, watch a little TV, do me, a quiet day. That's my preference. So, my biggest blessing and what matters to me the most is when Jesus wake me up every morning on my birthday. That's my biggest happy birthday. The first thing when I open up my eyes, happy birthday, you're alive. You survived another year. Here's towards another one.
Amen.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
definitely amen.
So I'm going to give you guys the mini skirt version of my answer so we can go on to the next answer. Um, would I feel slighted? Yes, because I make it a point to acknowledge everybody and theirs on their birthday. So when people don't think enough of me on my blessed born day, then yeah, I'll be ready to cut people off. I could be petty like that. And first thing I'll do is I'll turn my phone off. Um, so yeah, I get an attitude about it. And I don't condone those fair weather friends, the ones that they're quick to accept gifts and acknowledgement on their birthday and on holidays and stuff like that. But when it comes to everybody else around them that celebrates them, they pull they become invisible. So yeah,
Absent. They
uh,
didn't raise their hand when they called for them.
yeah, I don't do the absentee friend. But I just want to tell you guys here on the Still a Man podcast, we like to acknowledge all of our panel members on their born day, as we did on Bird's birthday and on Itima's birthday. So everyone else, make sure you get me your birth date so we can acknowledge you, get you your flowers, because I feel like it's important.
You got a birthday coming up this month, David.
Shh, don't tell.
Yes, sir. Yes,
David's,
sir.
David's birthday's in May.
Now,
No,
No,
what?
it's not.
Nobody. I'm sorry. It's April. I'm sorry.
yep.
Pat, you don't remember Timmy's birthday?
I know Timmy and Robert's birthday is in October.
David's
I
birthday
know.
is
I
Yes,
April 1st.
ma'am.
remember. He David's a Taurus. That's why I was saying May.
Yes, yes, yes. We as I said, this is the season of the Aries and Taurus this month.
The
Yeah.
hard heads. The hard heads.
Yeah.
Scorpios are much more high-headed to me.
All
I'm
right,
talking
let's
about they both got horns,
mm,
Patsy.
okay.
You're a Scorpio, so you're more stubborn than your
He has
brother.
a hard exterior, not a head.
All right, let's move.
And everything.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Next question. Next question. I believe we on question number
Hold
5.
on. I have a question. I have a question on the birthdays.
Go ahead.
Gregory, when's my birthday?
Your birthday is right before my birthday. Or
Is it?
right after my
Okay.
birthday. Excuse me. The day after.
Robert, when is Tanya's birthday?
He don't know.
All right,
Oh,
we
Tanya,
are
your
moving
birthday is
on
the
to
same day as
question
my
number
cousin's
5.
birthday.
Question number 5, ladies and gentlemen.
Y'all are messy.
Question number 5. All right, feel like I'm in court and banging on a damn. Okay, here we go. Question number 5. Are women or men more likely to participate in a cover-up of their friends' infidelities? We are going, let's get the ladies' opinions first. All right, Itima. All right, Patsy. All right, Tanya, turn your mics on. Itima, you are up first. Are women or men more likely to participate in a cover-up of their friends' infidelities?
I would think. Hmm,
Go ahead, tell the truth, Edema.
I would think. No, I think if we're talking on an old school day, I would think men. But the way things go down now, it's both. It's both. You can like people can't be trusted.
All right, Patsy, same question.
I agree with Itamar. Back in the day, um, it'd be one, and I think women would be like back in the day, but now it's like both. But it depends on how close your friends are.
Tanya, tell the truth, shame the devil.
I'm going to answer it this way. It depends. It depends on if that person you covering up for, let's say if a female is covering up for her friend, if she wants the man, she gonna throw her under the bus. If the man wants the woman, he gonna throw his boy under the bus. And that's the way I'm gonna answer that.
They might get pushed in front of a bus with that type of behavior. Let's, gentlemen, turn your mics on. All right. We got Timmy, we got Sean, we got Bird, we got Robert, we got Gregory. Bird, I'm gonna let you start this one off. Are women or men more likely to participate in a cover-up of their friends' infidelities?
I think both equally. Everyone's covering for everybody. Men are going to cover for their boys, and women are going to cover for their girls. That's the way the game is, I believe. So I believe both equally.
That's when you good friends. The field where the friends is throwing each other under the bus.
And like
I
I said,
believe. Can I say something real
yeah,
quick? I
yeah.
believe that, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a little old school when it comes down to like certain stuff. And Like, I believe that, like, if my friend, my friend that I love is in a situation where she's playing around with her man, or she's playing on the side or something, and I know I'm gonna speak to my girl, especially if I know that she got a good man on her side. I'm gonna let her know, like, listen, this is not what you're about to do. Like, you gotta figure this out because it's not good for you, and it's gonna fuck up your situation. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, this is what I would do. You know what I'm saying? Rather than like try to hide the situation or whatever, whatever. I'm not encouraging my girl because at the end of the day, I love you, so I want you to be able to have what's good in your life. And if I'm sitting here covering up bullshit, you
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? That's going to end up being garbage for her. You understand? So I don't have that much love for her if I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So that's called tough love. Sometimes you got to give it up.
Yeah.
That's wisdom.
I respect that.
Tomorrow, I'm coming to your house and I'm about to tap whatever you just said and put it in a bottle because you need to spray that on a lot of your sisterins so they can be like-minded because some of these women out here are trifling. I'm just gonna say that. But I digress. I believe we are on. Who was we on?
Bird.
No,
Bird.
yeah.
Bird.
Bird
Yeah,
answered the question, I think.
I answered. I
Yeah.
said
So
both.
we.
Yeah.
All right. So
Both are someone else.
we went to. We're gonna go to Robert. Robert. All right.
Sorry, I was over here trying to get the mute button to act right. I'm gonna say both sex can be loyal and lie for their friend or family member, vice versa, either if it's the woman or the man. Um, that's just what you're gonna do if you're a true friend. Um, a fair weather friend, you know, me personally speaking, because if you're only there for a beneficial gain, self gain, um, then it's not my place to tell you what your lady's doing. If you're wise enough to try to play me, you should be wise enough to play that game she's playing on you. So what Itama said, if it's truly, truly a friendship, yes, I would take a gamble and I would give you that information you really truly need. If that ruins our friendship, then we wasn't truly friends.
Okay. Gregory.
Um, Ask me the question in the entirety again, because I kind of got lost a little bit in his answer.
Are women or men more likely to participate in the cover-up of their friends' infidelities?
The truth of the matter is, a lot of men think that they're doing that type of thing, but the women are just smarter at doing it than men. Their girl code is way stronger than the guy code. Call your friend right now, try to have him lie for you. He's not gonna lie for you, but the females, they pick up on that type of stuff. They know how to lie for their friends immediately. If they could, you get what I'm saying? So it's a whole different ball game, especially right now in the time that we're dealing with everything that's going on. I told you, you got your sexy reds, you got your sweeties, you got a whole line of stuff to corrupt females' heads to make them think F niggas get money.
Yeah.
John.
Kudos and hats off to Sister Itama because that was a great, great argument. But I'm gonna stick with my sisters. I'm good at that because, and I'm going out on a limb here, real fellas, we don't we don't stick up for our boys, nor do we have to stick up for our boys because our real boys wouldn't put us in a situation like that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Oh shit. I got some dirty motherfucking people in my life.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
so is that real
I
boys or
wouldn't
that's
want to
just dirty
involve
mother
you in
effers?
that drama.
No, I got a friend that's married and he wants to go out there and fuck around. I'm gonna be the friend like that's bullshit. How you gonna feel if your girl, you know what I'm saying? Like if I feel like you got a good one, I'm gonna tell you some shit you don't want to hear and let you do that. But I only got like one good friend that's married that, when they feel like sliding, I slightly remind them of where they are in life and you fucked this up and you got a real good one and they're like, yeah, it's still going to end up being up to him, but just to hear that little birdie in you say, don't do it, is all I can really provide. Because at the end of the day, every man and every woman is going to do what they want to do. So, yes,
Right.
I don't have many good friends that I could say that. I don't have many good friends on one hand that I could say that I will give that type of advice to. But most likely, I'm going to cover, I'm going to lie because I know women lie and some women ain't shit. And if your girl ain't shit, then I ain't got to be the voice of reason for you. You with your ain't shit girl. So go ahead and have some fun. I'm with it. Let's go.
So do they put you in that situation or do you volunteer that service?
Do I what?
I said, do they put you in that situation that you would have to lie for them, or do you volunteer
I've
that you
been put in
will?
situations. Yes, I've been put in situations to lie, and I lied to somebody that was probably their spouse was more of a friend. I was longer friends with them than I were that with the guy. But I ended up. Yes, I definitely have told lies, and
It
there's
was a
only one or two
cesspool,
good.
B.
It
Once
was
you
only one
told
or good
that first
people. I
lie,
guess
you had to keep
he
lying.
needed it, so I understood you was with a kind of ain't shit girl, and it is what it is, man. I'm going live for my friend.
I
But
don't
I
want
hear you. I still stick by my
Yeah.
statement. A real cat
too messy.
don't put their
you right.
boys
Oh,
in
no,
that
it's not.
dry kind of
I
situation.
into it. I promise you, it's
You
not going
right,
to be.
but I come
Yeah,
from a different
I did that.
code in the
I into it.
game. I come
I
out of
into
a
it.
different world in this game. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. I'm gonna do what I
But
could do
I
because
see.
Don't
you
worry about
might
it. We're gonna
call your
come see you
friend
tomorrow.
that you see
Okay.
I don't know if it was
What?
Kevin Hart. You get that phone call like nigga.
Uh,
You gotta know what that
no
nigga
doubt.
means. That
No
can mean
doubt.
like, yo, just roll with me. I'm in some shit. I need some fucking help. Like, nigga, you won't believe this. Hopefully you pick up and we make this shit right because I'm calling you because I done came through for you. And I hope you
Excuse
can
me.
pick up that whatever the tone of my voice and that word comes out, you know what I'm talking about. Just go with that
Oh
shit.
yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
Oh, yes. I've been in a few of those. Not me personally looking for
It
someone to
don't
lie,
work
but
that way all the time, fellas.
yes, because I know. No, I wasn't with you last night. Remember? I told you I was
Wow.
over here. Like, oh
Mm.
man.
Exactly.
I'm on my way to your crib with my bag, and I'm gonna stab you. We just gonna figure it out.
Timmy,
I'm
Timmy, same question.
Yeah, I ain't with uh chicks or dudes, cause I think they too much being impressed, like Grateful said, by these people that are not role models, and we can't look. We got to tell our kids that they're doing whatever she's doing in her life. That's her life. But what she's portraying to the public is entertainment, right? So, you know, you got to tell your kids that what she's doing is entertainment and what you see on TV is entertainment. These people do not live like they're living and they're living
What?
a
You
lie.
better believe that girl. She
Hey,
told you
They're
she
living a
busting it open
lie.
for a check.
They all living lives, except the ones who really got it. But the ones that's on TV, fronting like they living in big houses, only a few of them, maybe two, three of them that got that like that. But the rest of them, they all are fronting with how much they're spending, fronting with this gold. Now all that stuff that they buying, the cars, the gold, the jewelry, that shit depreciate. Ain't none of those people got their own houses or none of that. So for me, I think if you focusing on what you see on TV and what they portray, then you are gonna become that because you are being brainwashed to think that this person, what she's saying is the right thing. Fuck all niggas. Uh, uh, fuck all bitches. Bitches ain't shit and all that. That those might be those people's personal experience that they have with somebody, so they trying to project it, and because there's a lot of people that might went through similar things and they feel like they're talking about them in that song or that song relate to what they went through, they're gonna gravitate to it and embellish uh buffoonery that is not real life. Is just uh fake. Is not real.
We're gonna go to ladies first. Question number 6. Are men or women more likely to compliment their friends' attire or appearance? We got Itzima, we got Patsy, we got Tanya. Ladies, turn your mic on. Itzima, you're up first.
Um, I think depends where you are. With that. Um, but men, I would say men because they be like, like when they see each other, okay, okay, you looking, opposed to a female to another female. Like a real secure one would definitely give flowers to another one, but another, like, I don't know, a troubled female, I would say
That don't
she
know where
she
she's
would not
going.
give no flowers, to another female. So that's why I say men. Men are quick to like compliment each other.
All right, Patsy, same question.
I think it's equal. It depends on what kind of friends you really have. My good friends would, even my neighbors and stuff would be like, "Oh, you look nice today." If I, you know, have something nice on or whatever, or stuff like that. Yeah, but I think it's a balance of both, depending on what kind of friends you have. Either way.
Tanya, same question.
I think that it is like Percy said, the type of friends you have because I'm secure, and I agree with Itima because I'm secure. I could compliment another woman on what she's wearing. I could compliment a man on what he's wearing, and
Gentlemen,
and my husband does the same. So it's equal.
okay.
I'm done.
Gentlemen, turn your mics on. Question number 6. Are women or men more likely to compliment their friends' attire or appearance? Timmy?
I'm gonna go with what each of them said. Men, they not they more men. I feel like they they confidence when they dress up, so they not afraid to say, "Hey, man, you look smooth." Yeah, man, you look smooth too.
Hey,
Shit,
what are you doing?
yeah, we both look fly tonight. But the chicks, they'll backstab and shit. Like they'll tell the chick, "Oh, girl, you look so nice in the dress," and then soon as she walk away, look at that girl. She thinks she look all that. She got her ass hanging out of the damn dress. She ain't even wearing it right. So I think if the women have a problem, especially not the older women, because they're confident about themselves. They don't have problems like Tanya said and Ethan said. They don't have problems with complimenting younger generation or compliment women of their generations, you know. So it's the younger women that have issues. They're not in touch with themselves. They got low self esteem. They got ego. Somebody been telling them that they're the baddest and all that. So their egos are high, and so they thinking that every chick is jealous of them.
Sean, same question.
I say both because we as men and women of color, we know how to appreciate good things and compliment people when they're when they're doing something great or wearing something great. Um, from the world that I come from, meaning the business world and the church world and my personal life, like the both men and women have complimented each other on the attires that has been appealing to them. So I would say both.
Yeah, but is it true? See, cause like I was saying, some women would say they look nice, and then when they walk away, say, "Oh, she don't look right in that dress," and start talking about it. Her hair wasn't done right. Look at the way she had the colors wasn't right. All that. So it
Okay,
is,
man.
it might be if it's true, if it's not true, but how you feel, what the hell you give a shit about what somebody think? If you feel you look smooth and fresh and whatnot, you look dapper, hey, you everything else is non-existence to you.
Gregory?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
hey,
both.
yeah.
Both. I'm like some guys will tell you like, yo, that's some fly shit you got on. You get what I'm saying? And then you got the females. I'm pretty sure they're complimenting their friends if they like the outfit. I've never seen like I don't be around haters, so unless they hating on the low, they don't hate in my face. They hate behind the back.
Robert?
I'm gonna say both. Um, if men feel uncomfortable, it's because the way of society right now. If another man pays you a compliment, nigga, damn, your lineup looks good as shit. Yeah, they did a good job though. Somebody might take that, nigga. What the fuck you? Excuse me, staring all up in my face for, looking at me like that for? You notice that it's straight lined up, and they're thinking too much about what the young man had paid him a compliment. Yeah. You're overreading what he paid you. I mean, it just I can say another thing. If you dress and you look good as a man, someone tell you look sharp or whatever. That I don't even know if that sound right for another man to tell you that jacket looks better on you than me. But it might be accepted depending on the two gentlemen that's standing there. Someone else, if he's a homophobic or something, he's gonna think that this man is eyeballing him. Let's just leave it at that.
Bird?
I believe more women, compliment each other than men do. I don't know many men that do it. I've seen it. it's a rarity if it comes out of my mouth. I agree with Rob. Like, damn, them pants, them jeans look tight, dog. They hugging the shit out you. I ain't taking that as a compliment, nigga. What the fuck you staring at me in my jeans for? So
Yeah,
I
that's
get
some genuine delinquent shit. You gotta put that
it.
man
You know,
down after
cool.
he says that.
Don't talk about nothing I got on. I get
Pop,
it. I
pop.
do get it.
Sean, pull out the blick.
I get it because of the time I come from. That's not literally accepted. Men complimenting men. Does it happen? Yes. Does it happen regularly? No.
All right. We're on number 7. Guys, let's try to keep it together. We got 7 more. Ladies, turn your mics on. Tanya, Patsy, Itima. Gentlemen, mute your mics until the ladies are finished talking, please. And again, I'm going to remind everybody, please do not present a question while they're answering the initial question, and let them finish their answer before you give any type of rebuttal. All right, Itima, question number 7. Are women or men more selective about their circle of friends?
I would say I think both. I think that I think yeah, both. Both.
Patsy?
It depends on the maturity of who you are as a person, but I don't, mature men and women are more selective than the younger generation that are not mature in who they are as a person. But in general, I think both men and women are selective with their friends.
Tanya?
I'm gonna say women.
Sean, are men or women more selective about their circle of friends?
Ooh, I think men are because I can speak for myself. I don't tolerate foolishness, fake, bitch assness, um, punks, suckers.
Got more?
Anything else negative that you can think of, I don't tolerate that a man carries any of those qualities. So we're very selective of because we got to be surrounded by people that we think that we can trust.
Mhm.
And that
Robert?
if stuff, oh,
I'm sorry,
sorry.
Sean. No, I'm sorry, Sean. Go ahead.
And if things were to, stuff was to hit the wall, we got to make sure we have somebody who that would have our back.
Right.
Robert?
I agree with everything what Sean said. That was right on point. I'm just going to add to it and say they definitely got to have some good qualities because you sometimes can be a reflection of the company you keep.
Okay.
Kudos. Hmm.
Gregory?
Yeah, I agree with the two gentlemen that just spoke because everything they said was real. Ladies might be more easily to bring a new female into their group, whereas us guys, we're looking for somebody that has already been around us than a new person to come around and start before you start trusting them. Some like females have more like this is my friend Shonda. She done brought the girl around and now they're all friends somehow out the blue. You get what I'm saying? You ain't gonna see too many male too many male relationships like that.
Bert?
I'm just gonna say women. Women are more friendly and open than men are.
Timmy?
Well, for me, I'm a good judge of character. So once somebody showed me their character, I already, if I haven't picked up on things that I know from being around shady people, you know, if I haven't picked up on it, then my gut feeling is telling me this person is not right. I don't want them around me, you know, but like I said, I'm a good judge of character, so I'm always watching people that comes around anyway. Cause I'm from the old school. I'm not I don't your impression your first impression showed me what you how you are. That's just gonna confirm my suspicions of you anyway. So that's why I always say I have a good judge of character. Because most of the time my suspicions be right, and then they show their hand to prove my suspicion.
Ladies, turn your mic on. We are on question number 8. We got Tanya, Patsy, and Itzma. Itzma, you are up first. Question number 8. How often do you and your friends congregate? And do you and your friends have a preferred hangout?
Yeah. I don't congregate with my friends like that. To be honest with you. Um, like I'm a mother, you know. So I probably um like a monthly thing. Or when it gets hot, I get up with friends more frequently because we get up in the park. We have children, so we'll get up in the park. They play, and we get to chat and stuff. But other than that, it's I don't get up like that with friends.
Patsy, same question.
I'm the same way. I don't really congregate with a lot of my friends and stuff. I'll chit chat on the phone with people and stuff, and if we decide that we want to hang out and get together, it's on the fly. It's like, okay, let's go meet up at McDonald's or wherever, and we can decide where we want to go at that time, but we don't have a frequent hangout time or whatever. Yeah.
Tanya?
It's not too often. I don't get to go out as much. My you know my situation, so I'm limited on what I could do at the moment and who I can congregate with. So it's a very small circle and it's not too often.
All right, Bert, we're going to go to you first. How often do you and your friends congregate? And if so, do you have a hangout?
Oh, I don't really. Right now, my medical situation, I'm not a congregator. Well, I'm pretty much working. Home is my comfort zone. Home is my peace.
Mm.
Chico's my pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Gregory, same question.
It used to be more when you was younger, right? But I congregate with my friends a lot, pretty much throughout the year, but there are off moments where people's probably just living their lives. You can't get mad at them.
Robert,
Okay, ask me the question again, please.
how often do you and your friends congregate? And do you have a preferred hangout?
Um, we don't hang out and we don't get together. I might talk to a friend once a week. If I talk to them more than that, they're gonna find out who I really am. And I can't let them be that nosy. No, seriously. Unfortunately, me and my friends, we don't get together like we used to. I moved out of the inner city, and
Yep.
it's a strain on people's tires, gas,
Yep.
mileage to their car.
Go
Sometimes
home fucked up in a
it can,
racist white town.
yeah.
Racist white town, and you got to drive through 4 racist white towns just to get home. Good job. You did that shit on purpose. That was
Well,
self-isolating.
I don't know if I can say anymore. That's what they
Clear
feel.
waters.
I mean, I'm gonna leave you with this. I don't get a chance to do, unfortunately, what I would like to do. So we used to set up once a month, every other week. We go out with the men to a restaurant or whatever. We're about to start that back up. Not to just tell you all my life business, but you know, a grilling here and there over someone's house, entertain each other like we used to, and those things are needed with your friends because it keeps the friendship strengthened. When you're away, sometimes it's like, do I really want to spend time with this person?
Sean?
Me and my circle, we usually try to get together no more than maybe 2 to 3 times a month. And places that we usually hang out is either one of our homes or one of the local neighborhood restaurant or bars.
Timmy, same question.
Yeah, I think that is cool. But for me, I got friends that I haven't seen in years, and it seems like when we get together, it seems like things just picked up where we left off. So for me, it ain't hard to get back into the swing of things, and even though because when we was younger, we was able to hang around each other a lot,
Hey,
and
what's going
then
on?
everybody went off and had families. They got their own lives. They got their jobs and whatever other adventures that they're into. So you lose touch at times, but when you reconnect, for some people, it's like they never was apart. So I think it's good to keep those good gatherings and stuff like that because it shows the unity, and then when you around each other and y'all having a good time, you be like, damn, why we ain't been doing this? Let's do this a month later or down the line, So I think it's cool to have gatherings with your friends, especially ones that you ain't seen in a while.
Okay. Ladies, turn your mic back on. Uh, we got Tanya, we got Patsy, we got Itzima. Ichima, what time is it, beloved?
9:08.
All right, guys. You're gonna really have to give the mini skirt version of these answers. You're gonna just have to answer them. And that's it. So let's see how many we can get in. Ichima, question number 9. Have you been able to maintain any of your childhood friendships? And if so, do they have any true value still?
Yes, I have, and they still, yeah, they do have true value to me. They mean something to me. They're part of the family now, like, you know.
Patsy, same question.
Pretty much like just most of you guys is from childhood friends. You know, I don't think I had too many other friends. It's probably one or two, and they were value, you know, and yeah.
Tanya, same question.
What's the question?
The question is number 9. Have you been able to maintain any of your childhood friendships? And if so, how much do you value said friendships as an adult?
Ooh, the only childhood friendship that I've maintained over these years is my friend that I met in high school, who I call my sister now. That is the only one. And that's my sister. Sisters. They're not going anywhere.
Gentlemen, same question. Timmy, be brief but be brilliant. Have you been able to maintain any of your childhood friendships? And if so, how much do you value said friendships as an adult?
Everybody that I touch or interact with, I'm still close friends with. And, I got three families. I got my project family, I got my Morgan Memorial family, and then I got my family. So I have a big family.
Bird, same question.
I still have quite a few friends. You guys are basically included. Um, I've known you and you guys and your family for over 40 years. And
We family.
yeah, and I do have friends I've gone to kindergarten with and I'm still okay with. Are you like we BFFF? No, but I can see you and it's always good to see somebody I grew up with. Like, yo, what up? We used to play marbles and red light, green light, and you know, we used to do all that shit. So I go back way back with a few good people. But you guys have been in my life over 40 years, man. Probably about 45 years I've known you and your family.
Long time. Robert,
Sorry, I got to ask for the question again. I'm doing a lot.
have you been able to maintain any of your childhood friendships? And if so, um, how many of those relationships have any true value as an adult?
The ones that matter most is still around. I don't have many friends because maybe it was based on the way they perceived me. I mean, in some people's eyes, I can be a little bit too much. But and the ones that's still around is the ones that's the only thing that they mean the most. The ones that's around, those was my important friends. Those were my best friends, even if it's just one friend right now. that matters to me the most. I can care less about the ones that fallen. If they're not around me, God removed them out my life for a reason.
Right?
Gregory?
Hell yeah, mother stucker. What sentimental value do they have to? I love them mother snuckers. Yeah, I still have all my childhood friends around me to right now. So I don't know if we're ever gonna burn the bridges and not speak to each other. That'll be crazy.
Sean?
Yes, I have all my childhood friends that I consider my friends, all except for one, and that's only because she's no longer here on this earth. But other than that, all those that were my day ones, they're still my day ones to this day.
Okay, we're gonna do a little something different for question number 10. We're gonna jump around. Sean, I'm gonna stay with you. Question 10. Are women or men more likely to compete with their friends in an attempt to gain the opposite sex attention?
I would say females, and I have no reason for why I'm picking them over us. Because again, I don't think us guys, not at this big age, are competing with one another for a female.
Ichima, same question.
What was the question?
Are women or men more likely to compete with their friends in an attempt to gain the opposite sex attention?
They both do it. They both do it. I think. Um, yeah, both sex do it. They compete with each, especially like, you know, when both parties want the same girl, or you know what I'm saying? They go head for head. I've seen it. I've seen it.
Bird?
I think that depends on the person and the age. That's some like kid shit that both parties have been involved in. But on, a situation or a lifestyle of my caliber now, I don't even have friends like that would try to compete for attention of a female. So I would say it's situational, but I would think more men go out of their way to compete for a woman than women competing for a man. Women are getting attention every way, everywhere, every how. So it's not new, but it's a situational thing, age, maturity level, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Patsy?
Yeah, I agree with Birdman where it's like a maturity level and both sexes do it. I don't feel like I never felt like I had to compete with any friends, but then I've always had a small circle of friends, anyways, and none of them I really had to compete over a man. If I like somebody, that's who I liked, and forget whoever else liked them. It's whatever is my interest. But I was mature enough to like hold my own.
Tanya? Same question.
Can you repeat it, please?
Are men or women more likely to compete with their friends in an attempt to gain the attention of the opposite sex?
Oh, I'm gonna say both.
Huh?
Yeah.
Timmy?
I ain't never had to compete with nobody. So I'ma say yeah.
Gregory?
Um, I would like to agree with the panel and say both, but I feel like women go out more than men together, and when men do go out, they're kind of nonchalant. So because of the ratio of female to male in America or the world, period, the population, there's more females that end up liking the same type of guy. You get what I'm saying? Than guys going out and being like, yo, we about to beef over this chick. That's really not in the nature of males. You get what I'm saying? So, especially when you're going out with your friends, it's most likely going to be the females. Both of us can tend to do this stuff.
All right, did everybody get a chance to answer that?
I believe so.
All right, we are going on. This is going to be the last question. I'm going to combine two questions. All right, Sean, I'm gonna stick with you, and then I'm gonna go to Itima, and then we'll make my way around the board. So, Itima, turn your mic on. Sean, let's see how I can word this. Would you sever ties with your friends at the behest of your mate or your fellow friends? And the other part to that question is, have you ever been accused of being a fair weather friend, or do you have any fair weather friends? And if so, does the relationship hold any value?
For the first question, ooh, I guess it depends on the situation at hand. Like if something has happened that warranted my significant other to feel a certain way towards my friend, and I mean, it definitely would. There would be a discussion, and um, as far as completely cutting my friend out, probably wouldn't cut them out, but how we interact with each other, as long as I'm with my significant other, would definitely change. And have I ever been called a fair weather friend? Yeah, I've been joked about that from a lot of my female friends because they always say I never call to check on them and this, that, and the other. And then when I do, um, yeah, now I guess I don't. So yeah, I've been called that. I'll own it. So I'm a kind of that friend that is almost like, out of mind, out of sight. And because life be lifing, you just time gets by you. So that's my version of how I've been a fair weather friend.
Itima, same question. Would you ever sever the ties with your friends at the request of your mate or your other friends? And have you ever been referred to as a fair weather friend? And if so, do you have any friends that are fair weather friends? And if so, does the relationship still hold any value?
I agree with what Sean said, but I also agree as far as a relationship, when it comes down to a relationship, there's things that should be respected on both parts and there's certain privacy. So it just also depends on what the situation is with the friend. And if he was disrespectful towards your partner or something like that, then that's different. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the being called fair weather friend, yep, I've been accused before, but because I was going through my situations And so I chose to keep myself, apart into myself. And sometimes they used to call and reach for me, and I wouldn't answer, and I wouldn't, because I just didn't want to burden anybody with my burdens. You understand what I'm saying? But then when I was, in a good place, I would call them up and let them know, and they would actually let me know, like, you can actually like talk to me. But because of circumstances in life, I chose differently. But that's the reason why I've been called that before.
Patsy, same question.
I've never been asked to give up a friend for any given reason. And as far as being called a fair weather friend, no one has come out to me and said that I'm there. And whether or not they said it behind my back, I don't know. And at this point in life, I don't care.
Robert?
Let me leave you with this, viewers. This is my final thought on this whole matter. The fabric of a true friendship deserves simple truths. That means simple truths on your loyalty for your friendship, simple truths on the love you have for your friend, simple truths on the respect you have for your friend. Keep in mind, on the other hand, for the fair weather friends, friendship is never simple.
Well said, well said. Gregory, same
Got
question.
that from Jerry Springer.
Gregory, same question.
For the first part, hell no, unless you're letting me tell you about your hood rat hoochie friends, then we shouldn't even be having this conversation. You shouldn't be talking about my friends. Why are you worried about my friends? I'm a Cancer, so there's times where I can go into my shell and be to myself. You get what I'm saying? And come back. And most of my friends understand that. So if I need some time to recharge my own battery because I feel like I need to recharge my own natural state, you can't be mad at me for that. I'm always gonna come back. I'm a loyal person. I'll be back to pinch you.
Timmy?
Shit. Well, I don't, I don't think I have any fair weather friends. It's just people stay in contact. If they don't, cool. If you do, cool. So if you don't stay in contact, that means we outgrown each other. You done moved away, or you doing something else, or life got you so wrapped up that you don't have time to conversate or check in and see what's going on or what like that. So I ain't mad at that. I don't really, it doesn't fade me. Far as if the far as the relationship of woman or man challenge, it all depends on the situation, like Itima said. But for me, I think if you see things that your partner and vice versa that neither one can see, and that person that you are with sees that, then if you really value your your relationship, far as if you thinking that this person's the one, then it ain't hurting to sit back and watch this person's actions while we out and about, so that person can see, but other than that, I think it's a both ways on that one, yeah.
Okay. Tanya, take us home.
What was the first part?
So I'm going to give you the entire questions.
Yeah, please.
All right. Would you sever the ties in your friendships at the behest or request of your mate or other friends? And the second question is, have you ever been called a fair weather friend? Do you have any fair weather friends? And if so, does the relationship hold any value?
I'm gonna say I've never been asked to sever any ties with friends. I've been told that that's not your friend and they don't really care about you. But I've never been told to let them go. I've been given the opportunity to see that for myself and to make my own decisions when it comes to that. I may have been accused of being a fair weather friend, not to my face, but I'm pretty sure that some people may think that I am because I don't call constantly or I don't be in touch the way that they think or feel that I should. That doesn't mean that I'm not a good friend. That doesn't mean I'm not thinking about them. That doesn't mean I'm not praying for them. That doesn't mean I'm not wishing them well. It's just life be life, and like some people said on the podcast already. Um, yeah, that's where I'm at. And do I have any fair weather friends? I can say that maybe so. The same way that they judging me of being a fair weather friend. My definition of a fair weather friend is that you're not there when I need you to be there. Like if I can't call you if I need something. That's why I don't call anybody for anything. I do for myself because I don't want to be. You can't put your faith or trust in people. You'll be disappointed every time. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the Still a Man podcast show. Thank you for your participation. Good night. God bless you.